She wrote the essay herself, every single word, and she still got a 0. Her name is Eleanor, a student at Green Hope High School. She turned in her own work, and a piece of software looked at it, decided a machine must have written it, and that was that. A 0. Not for cheating she did, for cheating a computer thought she did. Now one of the largest school districts in North Carolina is looking at that story and at the thousands of stories like it across the country and quietly drawing a line. They want their own teachers to stop trusting the machines that hand out those zeros. This is the fight over artificial intelligence detectors, and if it is happening in Wake County, it is coming to a school near you. Here is what actually happened, because the details matter. On June 17th, the Wake County Public School System put a brand new artificial intelligence policy on the table. It is still a draft. It has not passed yet, but the language inside it is striking. The policy says, in writing, that the district does not support the use of AI detectors. In plain English, it tells teachers to stop using them. Now, let me be precise, because precision is the whole point of this story. This is not a total ban, not yet. The draft discourages detectors. It does not outlaw them. But Eleanor, the student who lived through that 0, stood up in front of the school board and asked them to go all the way. She asked them to prohibit detectors completely because she knows exactly what happens when the software gets it wrong. So, why would a school district turn against the very tools that were sold to them to catch cheaters? One reason, and it is a simple one: the tools do not work well enough to trust with a child's future. According to outside experts, and according to the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction itself, AI detectors are error-prone. They produce false positives and they produce false negatives. Sit with both of those for a second because they are not equal. A false negative means a student really did use AI and got away with it. That is frustrating, but nobody gets hurt. A false positive is the nightmare scenario. It means a student did absolutely nothing wrong, wrote every word with their own hands, and the software accused them anyway. That is Eleanor's 0. That is an honest kid suddenly forced to prove they are human with a permanent mark hanging over their record because an algorithm made a guess and the guess was wrong. And think about what that actually does to a teenager. You did the work. You know you did the work. And now you have to dig up old drafts, version history, anything you can find to prove your own innocence to a teacher holding a printout that says you are a liar. The burden flips. You are guilty until you can prove you are human. Here is the part most of the headlines leave out. Wake County is not being paranoid. The receipts are everywhere, and they are damning. Start with the company that builds the most famous AI in the world. OpenAI, the maker of ChatGPT, also built its own AI detector. And then it quietly killed it. In July of 2023, OpenAI shut the tool down and admitted the reason out loud. It was correct only about 26% of the time. It flagged real human-written text as artificial in nearly 1 out of every 10 cases. Read that again. The people who build the AI could not reliably build a tool to detect the AI, so they pulled it. Then look at the universities, the institutions whose entire job is academic integrity. Vanderbilt University turned off Turnitin's AI detector and they showed their work. They calculated that if that tool had been switched on the year before, around 750 student papers could have been wrongly flagged at a single school in a single year. Vanderbilt was not alone. At least 12 elite universities, including Yale, Johns Hopkins, and Northwestern, switched the detector off too. The University of Waterloo dropped it in 2025. Curtin University followed in 2026. This is the evidence Wake County is reading. School after school looking at the same data, reaching the same verdict. The AI detector is not a lie detector. It is a coin flip wearing a lab coat, and a student's grade is the bet. So, if you take the detectors away, how do you stop the actual cheating? This is the genuinely smart part of the Wake County plan. You stop policing the writing, you start having a conversation with the writer. Under the draft, students are not banned from touching AI. They are given a rule. If you use it, you disclose it, and you explain how you used it. Hiding it, using it without permission, that gets treated as academic misuse and handled through the honor code, the exact same way plagiarism always has been. As the district's own policy director put it, cheating is cheating and plagiarism is plagiarism. The tools changed, the principle did not. And the teachers stay firmly in control. They authorize AI use case by case. The policy demands human oversight of any AI use. And here is the line every parent in that district should underline. A teacher is not allowed to use AI as the only way to grade your child's work. A human has to be in the loop. The superintendent, Robert Taylor, was blunt about it. We have clearly said this is an expectation, he said. They have to do it. The whole shift fits in one sentence. We are moving from guilty until proven human to simply tell the truth and show your work. Now, not everyone is satisfied, and honestly, that is healthy. One parent group raised privacy, and it is a sharp point. They want the policy to spell out exactly what student data gets fed into these AI tools, and how long the tools are allowed to keep it. Another parent argued the policy has to guarantee that AI actually adds to a student's learning instead of quietly doing the thinking for them. And this is so much bigger than one district. The draft still has to clear 2 separate board meetings before it is real, which means a final vote is not expected until August at the very earliest. At the same time, a bill moving through the state, House Bill 301, would push North Carolina to build a single model AI policy for every district in the state to follow. So let that sink in. This is not really about one school or one student or one zero. It is potentially about every classroom in the state and the dozens of states watching to see what works. So back to the question we started with. Could your school ban AI detectors? If you are in Wake County, it is already sitting on the table. If you are anywhere else, watch this one closely, because this is exactly how these things begin. One district, one honest student with a 0 she did not earn, and one quiet decision that the machine does not get the final word over a human being anymore. The age of the AI detector is not over. But for the first time, the schools are reading the evidence, and the evidence is not on the detector's side. This is detection drama, where we follow the messy, high-stakes fight between artificial intelligence and the people trying to catch it. If this changed the way you see those little detector scores, do me a favor and subscribe, because this story is just getting started, and we are going to be here for every twist.